All right, I don't know if anyone else is following this crazy situation in Qatar where they've got a population below 3 million, but they're hosting the World Cup and they've built these 8 stadiums. And of course, in their country, they've got no use for 8 mega stadiums, but they've got to build them because of the World Cup. They won this bid back in 2010, and now there are videos coming out of the hotel conditions because they've got to jam everyone in makeshift hotels, and people are saying it is Fyre Festival 2.0. We do have a few videos that went viral via Twitter, and here you can see these little makeshift, it's like some sort of cutout door, buildings or whatever that they construct to try and, I mean, that just looks terrible to try and fit everyone in like sardines. Looks like a circus. And then there was another video. I can't show it because it's from ESPN and they copyright everything. They got like this massive beanbag area in the center. They've got all these makeshift construction type. You can see some photos right here. These are shipping containers turned into makeshift hotel rooms. And I think they might have been donated a bunch of free beanbags or something. They've got these beanbags littered all over just a random area. And you can see an aerial view right there. That looks like a shipyard. That's what it looks like. But those are hotel rooms. And there you can see the fake grass they put down. Of course, a very unique situation here with a country that's so small, doesn't have the infrastructure. Of course, people have made the point that Qatar, the country, is actually pretty rich, but it really doesn't matter when you've got such a small country and such a short window you have to accommodate a certain number of people. So right now they're trying to balance between making enough, housing to, accommodate all these people while also thinking we're not going to need any of this after. So we cannot build 5-star hotels because they're going to be completely useless. It's the same thing with the Olympics. You see these smaller countries host the Olympics, like Sochi back in 2014, and they have places that just go abandoned because they're building something that's going to be with the use of it for 2 months. You're never going to get the Olympics again. You're never going to get the World Cup again. And they have to construct, and you can see there's actually a major issue with this, with the workforce and how much some of these immigrants they shipped in to Qatar to build all these stadiums. You actually Google and look on Wikipedia, all these stadiums built within like the same year. All of the stadiums. It all says, started construction in like 2014, opened in 2018. Again, they won the bid in 2010, so they won it a while ago. And now they've got these 8 stadiums. Some of these, I want to do a whole video on these stadiums. It's so interesting. Some of these stadiums were built with the idea you would play the World Cup in them. They would host their 10 games or whatever it is, and then they would be immediately taken down, torn apart, and the parts within each of the stadiums would be shipped to neighboring countries and used there. So just crazy. It's hard enough no matter where you are to accommodate the World Cup or different Olympic events. But when you're dealing with a country this small, it gets even worse. And you can see they say it's hell. Fans are paying, I believe that's around $370 for sweltering cabins. That's how much they're paying per day to live in those, I would assume, shipping containers. And then there's this. They've actually had major problems trying to film in Qatar. They won't let them film, apparently, in public places in the country. So a very interesting situation. You can see a World Cup first Stadium 974 was definitely built with Qatar's future needs in mind. The unique 40,000-seat stadium design incorporated 974 recycled shipping containers. I wonder if they used the extra shipping containers for the hotels. In homage to the site's industrial history, and will be completely dismantled upon the conclusion of the tournament. The resulting materials will then be reused in other construction projects in lesser developed countries. And it says this is the first temporary venue in World Cup history, with the site being repurposed into a waterfront development. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. It seems like a lot of this is a stretch, but again, this is a pretty rich country. So yeah, it's so unique seeing these different countries, and especially a smaller country like this build 8 mega stadiums when they probably wouldn't even have a use for 2 of them. But they've got to build 8 of them, and it comes with a lot of planning, because you can't just build these 8 stadiums, spend upwards of billions and billions of dollars building them, and then they just rot. Although that would be something very interesting to look at. Of course, you wouldn't want that for the country. They would just rot after the World Cup leaves. Again, they're building these massive state-of-the-art stadiums with the idea that they're only going to see like 20 games in them, and just during the World Cup over like a month span. That's what it looks like. So that is the uniqueness of the World Cup. That's the uniqueness of the Olympics, going some different place every 4 years. The Summer Olympics, the Winter Olympics, the World Cup, they all do it. And especially when you go to a country this small, having enough, housing and things like that, it becomes a big issue. And you're going to start, and again, we knew this was going to happen. It has happened, and it is sad to see the accommodations there, but it's not surprising, right? Because they really can't build state-of-the-art hotels. There's no use for them in the country. So you're left to build this Jabba the Hutt shipping container. Looks like it's about to be hauled off the coast of Africa. And that area photo, I got to be honest, that's pretty remarkable, because, it does just look like a complete shipyard. And the most interesting thing in this whole situation is, how will these stadiums actually be repurposed in the future after the World Cup leaves the country? Of course, they build they've got these shipping container hotel rooms. Those will be easy to move probably to other countries and repurposed and used in that form, of course. And then I would wonder, maybe they got a deal with some type of beanbag company, or I don't know if beanbags are really popular in their country or something. It just seems kind of odd that those are out. But I guess the one thing you don't have to worry about in the country is rain or anything like that. But apparently heat is something, it gets to like 90, 95 degrees there. That is an issue. So we will see how this whole thing turns out. And maybe I'll do a deep dive on all these stadiums and how they're going to be deconstructed after the World Cup. Guys, the original plan, get a load of this, they were going to build 12 stadiums. But once they realized, they're like, this is too much money, we're not going to be able to do anything with these, they had to cut it down to 8 stadiums. And that is what they built. So they've built 8 state-of-the-art stadiums. Originally, it was going to be 12. I don't know how many of them are getting deconstructed. I would assume probably 6 of them, because there's just no need for 8 state-of-the-art stadiums in a country that small. It is completely, inorganic, and it's only for one event. And unfortunately, it happens over and over again where they build all these accommodations, these great things, and then there's simply no use for them after about a month when it leaves. So this is interesting. We will follow this, guys, but make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.